I would like to start by thanking you all, specifically Anna Fatiga, for welcoming us here very warmly, for her words, for the time she's taking to listen to us. And first, I'd like to tell you how moved I am to be here with you and to feel this reconciliation with this parliament, because every time one of you spoke for Iran, for democracy in Iran, for freedom in Iran, you spoke in the name of all the people all around the world have been in a precarious situation, deprived from freedom and forgotten by the democracy. I know that we sometimes feel that as part of this type of institution, our voice is just one out of many. But I would like to tell all of you how much your presence matters and how resonance your voice has. And as you said it, this is the voice of the European people through your voice that you are representing. But it's also the voice of these 30,000 people that you are bringing back to life. If you'll allow me, I will now speak English so I can be more comfortable talking to these different nationalities of Europe.
Rajavi showed us the book with the names and the pictures of those 30,000 people, women, children, men, slaughtered in 1988. I have with me here the report of Amnesty International, which took the time to go and talk with each one of the remaining survivors of this manslaughter, with their families, with the people that are suffering still today about what happened in 1988. You see, as victims, we want to forget. We want to leave the past behind us. But we can't do it at the price of avoiding justice. We need justice in order to be sure that what happened to us will never be repeated. What we have learned today and what we know is that what happened in 1988 is just in the scene today in Iran. We have mentioned that the president of Iran, Rouhani, was part of the decisions who ended in this massacre. We know that the Minister of Justice of Iran, the person entitled to protect his citizenship and the people of Iran, was one of the people responsible for taking the decisions to kill 30,000 people. If you make the count in 2 months, that makes 500 killings a day. It was an industry of killing. It was a genocide of people who their only crime was to ask for freedom, like we are doing today here. Why is it important for us today to revisit what happened in 1988? Well, you see, 2 years ago, after a very enormous effort from many people all over the world to bring the people of this organization, the MEK, to a safe place. As you remember, I don't know if some of you know, they were all living in Iraq. Iraq turned to be not a safe place anymore for them. They had to be relocated. And the generosity of the government of Albania allowed them to move into Albania to a safe haven. 2 years ago, two Iranian coming from Iran, claiming they were journalists, arrived to Tirana. Their purpose was to engage in a terrorist plot in order to kill the people that had been relocated in Albania. Nobody knew what was happening, but last week, the government of Albania released all the information of what happened in March 2018 and how they could stop that terrorist act to come into action. But in 2018, the 23rd of June, many of us, I was there with Ramayad, we were in Paris in a conference gathering the resistance of Iran, the supporters of the resistance of Iran, and we wanted to make clear that we are confronting the abuse, the lack of justice, lack of rules, the corruption and the misogynistic regime in Iran. All of that was in the agenda. What we didn't know is that for Iran, the agenda was to kill us all. That day, crossing the border from Belgium to France, 2 people were arrested with what was a bomb that had to be installed in the premises where we were gathering in order to kill all of us. 2 days later, an Iranian diplomat, the second in rank in the embassy of Iran in Austria, was detained by the police of Germany because he was the head of the plot, of the terrorist plot. That person was an official of Iran, a diplomatic of Iran, part of the government of Iran, that had orders to kill us all. That man was extradited to Belgium. He is today in a jail waiting for his trial. This is why we can't submit to the lies and to the blackmail of the Iranian regime. It affects all of us. This year, a French professor of Sciences Po that had the dual citizenship, French and Iranian, went to see her family in Iran. She never came back. She was arrested in Iran and accused to be a spy. This is what happens every day in Iran. In England, we have another girl. She is dual citizenship, UK, Iranian. We have been struggling for 3 years to have her out. She wanted to go and visit her parents, to present her little girl that was born with her marriage with an English man. She has never been back. She's in jail. What happens is that Iran has used those people as hostages, legal hostages, that they have been abducted by the regime in order to have leverage to force our governments to comply with their demands. Well, this is the moment to say that we want them out. We want them free. And we don't want any more of this complacency that the European institutions have had with Iran. I have to say that I'm shocked every day with many things that happens in the world. But I'm double shocked when I see that women are the ones hand in hand with those that are abusing the rights of women. And we have an example, it was been named here. I mean, this has to stop. We need people that we can confide in, that represent our values, the values of our world. It's not only of our civilization, it's not Western values. We're talking about freedom and equality. And today we know that if there's no equality, there cannot be freedom. There's no equality for women in Iran. That's why there's no freedom for anyone in Iran. And our job today is to take the voice we have to have their plea heard here and in the world through you. So many thanks for this opportunity.